Were the Patriots ready to be in the Super Bowl? Kenneth Walker and Seattle's defense led the Seahawks to victory. And what does the offseason look like for these teams? All of that next on This Week in the NFL Super Bowl edition. Seattle was able to dominate this game and beat the Patriots 29-13. The Patriots offense was just struggling all game. They couldn't get anything going, and Drake May did have a very rough game. He struggled a lot. He turned the ball over. It just felt like he was uncomfortable every moment of the game. The offensive line was a terrible group in this game, to be fair to him. Will Campbell was getting destroyed a lot. The entire offensive line for the Patriots was just an objectively bad unit. Drake May was sacked 8 times. That is a tough thing to have to deal with and still try to be comfortable in the pocket and make throws and make reads. Drake May couldn't do that in this game. And I think Drake May was most of the reason that the Patriots lost this game. I think there was a lot that he left on the table. There were open receivers down the field that he wasn't throwing to. He just couldn't decide on any of his reads, and he wasn't using his legs as much as he has the rest of these playoffs. It just seemed like he was sitting in the pocket waiting to get sacked. At the end of the day, it is still only his second season in the league. He's only 23 years old. He has a lot better to get in his career. I don't believe that this is the end-all be-all what Drake May is going to be for his entire career, because I do think this entire playoff run has been a pretty terrible run for Drake May. He will still get better in his career. This isn't the end-all be-all, just the first time that he made it here. So Drake May has a bright future ahead. Just in his second season, he finished second in MVP voting. He is a great talent. Seattle's defense didn't make it any easier for the Patriots offense to work. They were all over the place. It seemed like every single key player on this defense made a play, which is why none of them won Super Bowl MVP, because it was never the same guy making a play every single time. It was the entire unit. Julian Love made plays. DeMarcus Lawrence made plays. You know, the defensive line, anybody on this team made a play. Just a fantastic overall performance from the Seattle defense. Offensively, Kenneth Walker, the Super Bowl MVP, he was absolutely amazing in this football game. It seemed like anytime he touched the ball, he was able to make someone miss and get down the field. He had 80 yards in the first quarter of the game, and he didn't score a touchdown. He had one 30, 40-yard touchdown called back. But even though he didn't actually score, he was the most impactful player on this offense. The only reason that they got down the field whatsoever in this game, and I mean, I don't think that Sam Darnold was bad in this game whatsoever, but Kenneth Walker is the main reason that this team was even getting down the field. He was so electric, just gash after gash after gash. He just knew where to be and when to be there. And Sam Darnold, again, like I just kind of hinted at, he was not a bad quarterback in this football game. I do not think that he was the reason that they won, though. I think he did everything he needed to do, and that was not turn the ball over. And that's what he's done the entire Super Bowl, the entire playoff run, is Sam Darnold just not turning the ball over. That's all you ask from him, because the rest of this team is good enough to win the Super Bowl. All you ask from Sam Darnold is just do not turn the ball over, and he didn't turn the ball over, and they won the Super Bowl. So congrats to Sam Darnold on being the first QB from the 2018 draft class to win a Super Bowl. Just a fantastic comeback story for him, for where his career was at one point, and then coming to Seattle and being able to get all the way to the top and win a Super Bowl. Fantastic job. And the Seattle Seahawks are your Super Bowl 60 champions. Now to talk about the off seasons about these teams a little bit, I will start with the Patriots. They are never going to have this easy of a path again, so you cannot walk into next season with the same roster that you do have. The offensive line is just not a very good unit. Their running back unit is okay, but it's not the best in the world. I don't think Trevion Henderson is a world-beating back. I think he's a huge, big play guy, and you keep him as your second tier back, but you need another running back for this football team. And maybe if the offensive line gets a little bit better, then Trevion Henderson and Ramondre Stevenson will prove me wrong. But Ramondre Stevenson does have a turnover problem, and he didn't turn the ball over in the playoffs, which is good for him, but he still has a turnover problem. And Trevion Henderson is not an efficient down-to-down back. Your wide receiver crew is just not good enough. Stephon Diggs is just not that guy anymore. Kayshon Boutte is good. He's a good piece to build around in this wide receiver receiver core, but you're going to need more than that. You're going to need more weapons for Drake May to work with. In this game, I don't think the weapons were why Drake May didn't win the game. I genuinely believe that Drake May just had a really bad football game. The weapons were not the reason, but you have to upgrade this offensive unit next year. The defense is going to be okay. I think it was a really good unit, especially in the playoffs. It was a really good unit. The Seahawks didn't even score a touchdown till the fourth quarter. So the defense obviously was able to stop them from getting into the end zone. They had like 4 field goals they had 4 Jason Meyer field goals before then. You can have some trust in this defense to be good next year. You just need the offense to be better. And now to talk about the Super Bowl champions. I think when you talk about Super Bowl champions, you often have to look at their free agent list for the next year, because you kind of got to see what they're going to look like next season. If this is going to look like relatively the same year or the same team. Their free agents are going to be Rashid Shaheed, Boye Mafe, Kenneth Walker, Josh Jobe, Kobe Bryant, and Tariq Woolen. There is other guys on that list, of course, but those are the biggest guys. If you can retain half that list, you'll be fine. This team will be good enough to make the Super Bowl again next year, especially if you get a guy back like Kenneth Walker. In the regular season in his career has been okay, but from what we've seen in the playoffs from him in this playoff run, he's been the best player on the Seahawks, and he deserves playoff MVP in my opinion, because every turn of the way, Kenneth Walker has been doing everything he can to take this team to the Super Bowl. He had 100 yards in every single game, and he was the game changer in every single game. He had 3 touchdowns against the 49ers. He's been absolutely fantastic. You need to keep him. You don't have to do a crazy amount in free agency. You don't have to be aggressive. You just need to try and retain the guys that you already have on your team. If they can do that, I have no doubt that they will definitely have a chance to be back in this position again next season. The only thing for them is I don't know if you want to get super complacent, because you're not going to face a team as bad as the Patriots were, and by all means, the Patriots made it to the Super Bowl. They were able to get to this point. They are still a good football team, but I don't think that they were a Super Bowl caliber team. I really don't. And next year, I don't think you're going to go against a team that is of the caliber of the Patriots. You could face a Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl, which is a scary sight because he's one of the best playoff performers ever. Maybe you do face Josh Allen or a Lamar Jackson or a Joe Burrow-led football team. Maybe the Broncos are able to be there, and Bo Nix has another year of development under his belt, and all of a sudden he's playing like one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL, and this team also has some weapons. That version of the Broncos is going to be way better than the Patriots. In fact, I think the version of the Broncos with Bo Nix this season is better than the Patriots would have been. The Seahawks are going to have to play a tougher team in the Super Bowl next year, so I don't know about getting complacent about this team, but I wouldn't be surprised if they brought back the same exact team, and I also wouldn't be surprised if that same exact team made it back to the Super Bowl. That'll be it for this video. Thank you for tuning in. If you liked it, please like and subscribe, and go watch all of the videos I have made about this season. I'm going to be active all off season making videos about the NBA, the NFL, anything, I'll be making videos. So please subscribe and stay tuned for that, and I will see you in the next video.